In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do basic column management in the table manager. I'm going to show you how to be able to order your columns in a table, how to rename them, and also how to be able to save custom views of a table. So let's just go down here. If you want to follow along, go to the sandbox. Once you're here, there's two different ways for you to be able to order the columns of a table. First thing you can do is right here where you have a list of all of your columns, you can left click and drag, and you'll see that that can just move one column after another. The other thing is you can also do the same right here. And there's actually one third way where you can hide columns by unchecking right here or unchecking right here. So between those two different panels right here and right here, you can both hide and order your columns. To be able to rename a column, there's two different ways to do that. Easiest way is just click on this little down arrow right here and click rename. You'll be able to change the name as well as the description. If you want to change more than just the name that's showing up here, you can go ahead and access the actual properties either through this gearbox right here. If you click on this, you'll see that this is actually going to give you the ID and the name as well. You can also modify some other properties we'll go over later, but you can modify that information through there, or you can modify it under this format through the same methodology. And that's how you can rename your columns. The neat thing about the ESP system is you can have multiple saved views of the same table. So all these modifications I've done right now, they aren't actually saved, and if I have a very large table that I've done a lot of playing around with and I want to revert back to the system standard view, I'm just going to click over here under view and go to defaults. I'm going to say reset to system default, and you'll see that that just reverted right back to the way that it was when I first logged in. Now if I have a view of specifically, let's say if I wanted to take the name out and let's take the timestamp out and all I want is just the table ID, I can go ahead and save this view. And the way that I do that is I click right here and then save current view, and then I can go ahead and name this, and so I can just say just table ID. Click submit, and now I can toggle between the two. I can go to reset to system default, and then if I want to go back I can say just the table ID default, and it's going to jump between those two. Now I can also make a default that is going to load anytime I go back into the table manager, and that is through my own personal default. So see right here where it says reset to my save default, I can make the current view my system default, or I can make the system default my default. The one other thing I can do is I can make this view the system default if I want to make this the default view for everyone that's using the system. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can save a lot of different views of the system for future reference. Let me go ahead and reset this back to the system default. And then the one other thing is if you have some views that you want to get rid of, you can go ahead and just go ahead and click delete. And that's really it for basic column management. You can go ahead and reorder and organize your columns however best to understand and be able to access your data.